slick and dangerous.
We've got complete coverage this morning. Dylan standing by with the full forecast, but we are going to start with NBC's Maggie Vespa. She's at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. Maggie, how's it looking there?
Craig, Chanel, it's looking even more insane than it's frankly been looking all week. I mean, you guys have seen us here, and frankly, every day this week, it's been nuts. But this morning, the storm has arrived. Its impact is staggering. That customer service line back there, we can't even see the line in the crowd of people. And then look at these numbers from FlightAware. This really lays out more delays than cancellations. But that just speaks to how conservative the airlines and the airports are being canceling flights as this storm rolls in. Also a mess on the roads, accidents piling up, and all of this with just 2 days until Christmas. Yeah, so with those warnings in mind, if you are still hoping to travel for the holiday, here's some of the advice we've heard. Those hoping to drive, officials say, frankly, if you can hunker down at this point, definitely do that. But if you do want to drive, they say allow extra time and obviously take it very slow while watching the forecast all the while. If you're hoping to fly and then your flight is canceled, the biggest advice we've seen, do not come to the airport. They say that will not help you rebook a flight. Your best bet is to stick to the app and stick to online because the phone numbers, frankly, at this point are overwhelmed. And then when you do rebook, try to rebook throughout the morning because, guys, this chaos, as we've seen, just tends to build throughout the day.
Yeah.
Craig?
Some good tips there. Maggie Vespa for us there in Chicago. Maggie Fest in mere moments. But first, NBC's Maggie Vespa is at Chicago International Airport there in Chicago with a closer look. Things look just as chaotic as they did when we checked in with you last time.
Craig, it is absolutely nuts once again here at O'Hare. Yeah, and as you said, coast to coast, pretty much this storm has arrived, and the impact on travel is absolutely staggering. I want to show you guys the delays and cancels. O'Hare preemptively canceled hundreds of flights yesterday just knowing this storm was rolling in. And of course, this storm, this system is now bringing these brutal conditions across the country. Snow, damaging wind, ice, and then that brutal Arctic chill following in behind it. Montana, some parts of Montana had a wind chill overnight of -70. And then we have those whiteout conditions like what we've seen in Kansas and Missouri. That's producing state to state hundreds of crashes. So a mess on the roads as well. So all that in mind, what can you do? Well, experts say if you're hoping to drive and you don't have to, they say, frankly, don't. It's far better to hunker down at home. If you do have to drive, obviously heed the forecast and allow plenty of time. They say if you're trying to fly and your flight is canceled, the last thing you want to do is show up here. This, again, is chaos, as you can see. They say the best thing, the fastest thing would be to rebook online through the apps. If and when you do, try to rebook in the morning because, again, as we're seeing, delays and cancellations stack up throughout the day. Craig?
Wow. All right, Maggie Vespa. Maggie, thank you.
Here in Chicago, the terminal train system froze too. Passengers are now taking buses.
I'm glad Gabby made it there. Maggie, what can flyers do if they are stuck?
Sure. So, Craig, it may be a long shot, but they can head to fly.faa.gov, where the FAA lists every single airport status. You can see which ones are open nearby and try to book a last-minute flight. Craig?
All right, Maggie Vespa there in Chicago. Maggie, thank you.